Hi, D here, and we are talking Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. And give me a hand today is FoxTime, right here.
With Foxy.
With Foxy. We got two Foxes giving us their insights on this new film by Warner Brothers. Spoilers ahead, by the way, just so you all have been warned.
So if you haven't watched it, go out, watch it now, or watch another video at the moment.
Exactly. So, let's start off. Fox, what did you think?
I thought it was a little long in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And they did use the beginning, most of the beginning, for later in the movie. But the rest of the movie, I thought it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. She was right. It does sort of drag out a little bit. There's a lot of topics that they're trying to cover in with this film. Really, in some ways, I'm feeling almost shoehorning a bit too much of setting up the universe. But really, overall, very entertaining. Ben Affleck as Batman is awesome. He is by far one of the better Batmans that we have had. Really has the gravitas and the darkness that this film sort of carries out. But who was your favorite person in this?
Wonder Woman!
Yeah? Yeah, by far. In fact, when we were in the theater, the one time when the audience really reacted, really got up off their feet, really cheered audibly was when Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman showed up. I think she's got a great presence and really is I think, an important part to put in this film. One, it adds a bit more of the female hero component, which is kind of lacking in a lot of films. But she really does have a great presence, and yeah, once she shows up, it's everything is going right then. It's a wonderful scene. Anything else that you thought that kind of hit you on that?
I kind of liked the green glowing crystal. I forgot its name though.
That's the kryptonite.
Kryptonite. Also, I like the scene from perspective of Batman's view when buildings are tumbling down and sadly his adopted dad died.
Yeah, the opening sequence does cover up the end of Man of Steel and the attack on Metropolis. We see that from Bruce Wayne's perspective, who is struggling to get Wayne Financial with sort of devastating consequences after that. And that sort of sets up his approach towards Batman as seeing him as a threat. The film really delves a lot from and takes a lot from Frank Miller's interpretation of Batman from The Dark Knight Returns, but not entirely. There is a bit of violence, but that's really kind of natural. It goes with Batman, and in fact, most of the violence in the film, most of his actions, really reminiscent of the '89 Keaton Batman film in regards to using of machine guns, of rockets and stuff versus people on the street. If you watch the old Batman at the end sequence, when he gets in the Batwing, he's launching rockets off at the Joker and his gang. In this film, they're pretty much following that same type of approach. And hand to hand, it's all beat 'em up. When he's in a vehicle, though, there is a bit more, I don't know, if your classic machine gunning rocketing. The one thought that has popped around the internet about Batman not using guns, the only real sequence where that comes into play is in one of the nightmare sequences that pepper throughout the film. And in that case, you can't really define that as part of the character because by definition, it is a nightmare. It is a dark future. It is a dark vision and interpretation of Bruce Wayne's, of Batman's at the time. So that is really all right. Yes, go right ahead.
I just remembered something when you were talking about nightmare and dark time.
Uh-huh.
Probably the top one most kind of Easter egg, scariest part in Batman v Superman is when he's walking up to the grave and he sees this black something pour out. He touches it, he looks at it, he looks back at this giant alienish thing, kind of resembling a mutt from Mockingjay Part 2, comes out, scares everyone in the crowd. I lift my legs up because it was so scary. I'm like, no!
So yeah, there are a lot of dark sequences in throughout the film, and that was probably one of the other real statements of it. It is a dark film, and not so much as a dark tone, though that is there. I mean actually a visually dark film. There are sequences where things are happening at night, the rain or the weather, and it actually is a little difficult to see what's going on. I think it gives a certain amount of image and idea of, you know, as I said, it does set a certain tone for the film, but at times, sometimes I was hoping, I was like, God, I wish I could just get a good look at what actually is going on right here. But outside of that, I think it was a great film. It was a good foray. I think it is a step above Man of Steel. Does have a little darkness in it, and it does have a little twist ending. Again, if you're thinking of the draw from Dark Knight Returns from Frank Miller's comic, and that Batman sort of dies at the end with Superman standing over the grave, here they do switch that. That's why I said spoilers at the beginning, folks. Don't get mad at me now. But they do imply that at the end of it, Superman is not really dead, which of course we know because you can't have Justice League films in the future of the universe without him. But yes, go right ahead. Just talk right into that.
Also, in the very, very last 2 seconds, some parts of the soil come raising up, so that might be like a bomb sequence when. I don't know how Batman comes back alive.
Well, Superman.
Superman.
Yeah. Well, that's implying, because remember in the first film when he takes off, when he flies, sometimes the things around him sort of raise up like some sort of gravitational wave adjustment. So I think that's what they're implying right there, is that he's not really dead, but he's deadish at the end of the film. But they go on. They do have a nice moment between, and I did like that, between Batman and Wonder Woman. Diana Pryce and Bruce Wayne, where Bruce Wayne says that we need to find the other metahumans. That's where they do imply a few points of the metahumans, of your Flash, your Aquaman, your Cyborg. Just very briefly, again, sort of an idea that there are other things that are going on in the film and that they're trying to set up. These are some of the points where I say they might try to be shoehorning a bit too much, but it really isn't that much of a distraction. The film carries itself very nicely. It does reach a satisfying conclusion. I thought maybe leaving Superman dead and then having him reborn in in the next Justice League film might be dragging things out a little bit, but that's really just an artistic interpretation. Overall, give the film a total thumbs up.
Yeah!
Excellent. So if you haven't seen it, why are you watching this? You should have seen it before this. Otherwise, hope you did enjoy it. If you do have any questions, comment in the section below. We'll definitely return comments back on that. Feel free to subscribe, press like if you did enjoy this review. Otherwise, that's it, and we're out of here.
Bye!
Bye!